Hi guys, welcome back to another video. I hope you're all doing really well. I decided today I'm going to be filming something a little bit different to what I usually do. I don't think I've ever done one of these before, and it's kind of a bit different to like the usual format of these kind of videos, but I thought I'd mix it up a little bit, film something different today. I've woke up, put a bit of makeup on, done my hair. We're going to go and grab a Starbucks, and I'm actually going to be brave today and try a new drink and venture out of my normal 2 drinks that I go for. So I thought we could have a little Starbucks, a little catch up, and I'm going to do a little Q&A, but I'm not going to do it in the way that people normally do it, just because I'm not really an Instagram girly, I'm going to be totally honest, and I know that's where people normally go to ask people to send them in questions to do these videos, but obviously I don't really use Instagram. I kind of use Instagram for like personal use at the moment. So what I've done is I've gone through my TikTok videos, which has been quite a long task, I'm not gonna lie, and I've collected just a little list of questions that I get asked quite a lot on my TikTok, and it's maybe questions that I can't really answer like on a comment in like a few words, or questions that like we can chat more about, and yeah, just sit down, have a little Starbucks, have a little catch up, have a little chat, and you can get to know me a little bit better, because I feel like I've been lacking in these kinds of videos, and I absolutely love watching these videos of other people. So I thought I'd film one today. I actually was going to film this yesterday, and I literally washed my hair, curled it, which is a big task for me to do. That happens once a week if we're lucky. Did all that, and then got hit by the worst migraine. It was like in one eyeball. I literally felt like someone had like a hot poker and was sticking it through my eyeball. So wasn't really enjoyable. Literally had to lay in bed in the pitch black and just wait for it to pass, which was gutting, because at that time it's probably like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I thought I'm not really gonna go get a Starbucks now because I'm a granny. I'll be up until 12 o'clock if I have a Starbucks now. Literally cannot have caffeine over midday. So yeah, a little catch up, a little chat together, and I'm really excited to go and try the new Starbucks drink. We are at Starbucks. I think I know what I'm gonna get, but I'm kind of scared, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a basic bitch. And what is it? Oh, that's it, the salted caramel cold brew. I'm scared, guys.
I'll give you a shortly.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna ask for it.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. What can I get for you?
Hi, could I get the salted caramel cream cold brew, please? A grande.
Grande?
Yeah. Is that quite sweet?
I wouldn't say it's that sweet, it's more salty.
Okay, could I get an extra pump of vanilla in that, please?
Yeah. Anything else?
That's everything, thank you.
Share on me, please.
Thanks. Okay, so I went for the salted caramel cream cold brew, and apparently it's really salty, so I got a pump of vanilla just in case my little taste buds couldn't handle it. I'm scared it's going to be like black coffee. Every time I've been with Sam, he's always persuaded me to not get it because he knows I don't like strong coffee. So I'm going to taste test it today and see, because I thought I'd try something a bit different than my usual iced caramel mac or oat shake and espresso. Thank you.
Thank you. Let me know.
Thanks. I got the goods. I'm so excited. It looks so good. Oh, nice man, let me out. It's like one of those really aesthetically pleasing coffees, which makes me sound like an absolute loser. I haven't stirred it yet, so it's like on grade. I'm getting far too excited for this coffee for my own good. I really hope I like the taste of it. Here's me getting all excited. I'm probably going to take one sip and be like, I've got an extra shot of vanilla. So my little weak coffee taste buds might be able to handle it. I'm going to go and find a little spot that we can pull up in and have a proper chat, because I don't want anyone to look into the car and think, what is that girl doing? And it will just give me stage fright and I'll be completely put off. So we're going to go and find a little spot, just us two, and the Starbucks and have a proper little catch up. Okay, so we're all pulled up. I've got my coffee and we're going to give it a taste. Do I mix it first? I'll have a sip without mixing, let's see. Oh my god. Oh wow. Okay, that's just caught me off guard. Might be my new favourite order. I say this every time and I hyperfixate on it. I'll get it every week and then move on to my next, but that is actually really good. I think without the extra shot of vanilla it might have been too strong for me, so I'm glad I went with that. I think you have to drink it through the zippy hole though, because then you don't get all this cream on top. Oh my god, wow. Okay, so as I was saying earlier, this Q&A is based off of comments and questions that I get on my TikTok. So a little bit random. I've kind of gone through and kind of picked out a few questions that I seem to get asked or have seemed to be asked more than once. So this isn't to say that I constantly get asked these questions. Obviously, I don't think anyone's that interested, but these are just questions that I've kind of noticed a running theme, and I kind of get asked questions along these lines. Obviously, as I said, I'm not really using Instagram yet, like properly. I kind of still use that as like a personal platform. I actually saw someone say something about this the other day on Instagram stories or an Instagram reel. It was a social media manager, and she was basically explaining that a lot of people have like a lot more reservations when it comes to Instagram rather than other platforms like YouTube and TikTok and stuff. And she was basically explaining like it's deep rooted because a lot of the people that follow us on Instagram and stuff are still people that we went to school with or people from our hometowns, and it kind of like links in with that psychology that you kind of like, I don't know how to explain it. She explained it really well, and it kind of makes sense to me really. Like TikTok, I feel like I've kind of created like not a new personality, but I'm such a different person to how I was when I was like at school. So for me, Instagram, I feel really disconnected to, and it's not like a platform that I feel comfortable like posting on all the time. I also feel really unphotogenic. I know this sounds silly, but I hate having my photo taken like in really unnatural situations as well. Like if me and Sam are just out, I don't really like the vibes of handing him my phone and being like, can you take a picture of me, or like getting anyone to take a picture of me. It's just like, it feels really unnatural. Whereas on TikTok, on here, I just feel like I can be a bit more myself. It's a bit more laid back, it's a bit more chilled out. That's kind of the reason why I'm not on Instagram, and that's why I haven't obviously been able to post a story saying like, send in your questions, blah 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 blah. So yeah, I've just kind of gone on my own little mission to source these questions, which kind of sounds a bit sad, but I thought it'd be quite a good video, you know, like my most asked questions on TikTok that I haven't answered, that I maybe struggle to answer, like in a few words in a comment, if that makes sense. So first one. Now I'd say this question is probably one of my most asked questions that I get on TikTok, and I can completely understand why I get it so much, and that is, what is your job? Because obviously I'm always posting vlogs like on a Tuesday morning of me at home or at B&M, and people are probably thinking like, what do you do to make money? Like, what are you doing on a Tuesday morning in B&M? Like those type of vibes, and I completely get that. So at the moment, my job, I am a freelance social media manager and content creator for brands. So that's like one side of my income and one side of my job at the moment. And then the other side, which is quickly becoming kind of not more of my focus, but I'm sort of like making it into like a bigger income. It's becoming a lot more sustainable. And that is my own TikTok platform, which still doesn't feel real to me, to be honest. I still get imposter syndrome about that, and I'm still kind of disconnected to that mentally, because I think, how is that making me the amount of, I'm not like raking it in or anything like that, but it's becoming quite a big portion of like my monthly income, which is just out of this world, insane. Would never have seen that coming in a million years. I have to keep pausing to take a sip of this coffee because it's so good, and I can't wait to go home and say to Sam, I had a cold brew today actually, so now I'm officially a coffee gal. Wow. Anyway, sidetracking. So kind of off the back of what's your job, another question is like, how did you get into your job, that kind of thing. And to be totally honest with you, I've mentioned this in a video before, I kind of fell into my job, which sounds so dickish basically, and I don't want it to come across that way, but it was kind of like stepping stones, and like one thing led to another, and I kind of just like fell into the sort of industry without consciously thinking about it. And I'm a believer in manifestation. I'm a believer in like the law of attraction and all that kind of stuff. I don't like practice it and focus on it every single day. I feel like I subconsciously manifest things in my life. But if you didn't know already, I had a small business. I started it in 2020, I think, or 2020, early 2021, when we'd first moved into our house. I was in an office job that literally used to make me feel sick every single day. I was that unhappy. Like, it made me physically ill. Like, I used to get migraines like every other day because of stress, and I was just so depressed and so like run down, and really like just hated my life, which I know to some that might sound pathetic. Like, office jobs aren't all that bad, like when you compare to other jobs and stuff like that. But for me, I went from like 3 years of university. I'm kind of going to touch on this in other questions, but I went from 3 years of university living in a city that I literally adored with every ounce of my being, around my friends all the time. Obviously, uni, you get student loan to basically spend on whatever you want, like going out 4 or 5 times a week, like shopping with my friends all the time, like literally living the life. I met Sam, again, we're going to touch on this later, but I met Sam. We obviously fell madly in love, literally obsessed with each other, so moved in together. I moved into his mum and dad's house, and we kind of got into that like loop of like saving for a mortgage, saving for a house, head down, work, earn money, save a deposit for the house. Like, that was kind of in our sights. So I kind of went from like living my best life to living an adult's life really, really quickly. And looking back now, I kind of think like, I mean, it's obviously what you do. You graduate from uni, that time of your life is over, and you do get a job and you have to start earning money. Like, that's just adult life. That's just the way it works. But I can kind of see why it was like such a shock to my system, and such a like, oh my God, like, my degree was in interior design. My job that I went into was kind of like loosely linked, but wasn't directly linked. I was just in an office with people that I didn't resonate with at all. Like, it was a new city to me. I didn't know anyone from the area, because obviously it's where Sam's from, and it was just a really crap time in my life, to be totally honest with you. It allowed me to obviously save money to put towards the house, and it allowed us to get our mortgage and things like that, which I'm grateful for now, because obviously without that job we wouldn't have got the mortgage. But yeah, basically it's just one of those. And so anyway, I've completely sidetracked, sorry about that. I feel like this video is going to be me blabbering on, but I basically started a small business selling homeware and dried flowers, and it did okay. Like, I was able to quit my office job and just get by. When I say just get by, I was earning just enough money to put into our joint account to cover our bills, food shopping, like my half of the bills, food shopping, and the mortgage. I had no money to myself, so I didn't have any money for like clothes or going out or anything like that. Literally not even £5 spare. So those like couple of years that I was running my small business, I didn't buy any makeup, skincare, clothes, which I know sounds stupid. Like, they're not the important things in life, but like, as a young a young woman, like in her early 20s, as I say, go from being a uni student, like having no responsibilities and whatever, willy-nilly spending my money on whatever I wanted, like living like a teenager basically, to being like, oh God, like I've just got enough money to pay the mortgage, I've just got enough money to pay the bills. And like, at the time I thought, oh, this is worth it because I'm not working for anyone else, I'm not in that office, like I'm working on my own terms. But it was hard. Like, I was working from like 6:30 a.m. to like 11 o'clock in the evening some days, and like obviously when I was in the office I was coming home to work on my small business, so it was just draining. So I don't really know where I was going with this. I feel like I've really sidetracked. Basically, how did I get into my job? I think that's what I was trying to answer. And it kind of came from my small business. So I was making like content online, obviously on social media. I was pushing, every sale I got from my small business was from my social media platforms from my small business. And then I kind of was like bridging that gap. I was like, I really enjoy the digital side, like, because my small business, I was running it from my garage out in the cold, and I didn't like that side of it anymore. I liked it when I was inside on my laptop making the content. I just really got into that digital side. So I started branching out and thinking like, could I do this for other businesses? So I set up a profile on a freelance website called Upwork, and from there I met my first client. She kind of like picked me up, and she's one of the leading aesthetic training providers in the UK, and she's this insane powerhouse of a woman, her and her business partner, and I've kind of been working with them ever since. So I kind of only have a couple of clients really, and I work really closely with them. But yeah, that's how I got into my job basically. That was such a long answer. I'm really sorry. I'm going to try and condense the answers to the other questions. But when people ask me on my TikTok about advising about getting into social media management and content creation, I feel like I'm not qualified to give that, because as you can tell from the answer, I kind of just fell into it. Like, it came from starting my small business. I kind of used that as my portfolio. That's kind of what people were referring to. Like, when my now main client, who I just mentioned, she picked me up, she said to me like, oh, is this your business, or is this like someone that you're managing? So it kind of like stemmed from my Instagram of my dried flower business, and now I've ended up here. And then obviously the two sides of my jobs, one is my TikTok, my own platform, like my YouTube and stuff like that, and the other side is obviously social media management for clients, content creation for clients. They kind of merge and interlink, so kind of two sides to one kind of industry, if that makes any sense. Anyway, we're gonna leave that behind. I hope that wasn't too boring for you. The next question is, what is your routine at the gym? So real switch up here, completely different topic. But I get this one quite a lot, again, because I feature like me going to the gym and getting ready for the gym in a lot of my vlogs, so people obviously wonder and they're curious. Again, I don't feel really qualified to answer this, but this is just my sort of like vibes at the gym. I'm not going to give like a full routine obviously in this video, it's kind of not what this is about, but I've kind of gone from, quite recently, I used to love like Pilates, cardio, very like soft exercise. I felt like that kind of worked best for me, and I still do enjoy that aspect. I really like stretching and like moving my body really gently, long walks on the treadmill and outside. I don't run, never have run, hate running. Literally, I'll run for 2 minutes and my chest feels like it's on fire. I feel like I'm gonna vomit out like acid. It's not it. Can't run at all. Sam's really got into his running recently, and hats off to him, because that's just not me. Any high intensity cardio, never been me. I've been more about of like slow pace and stuff. But more recently I have been introducing more weights, and have been doing like progressive overload. If you don't know what that is, research it. I'm still getting new to it, but it's basically where you gradually increase your weights. I don't know if it's meant to be every week, but I do it every week, like even if it's just half a kg, to kind of put that strain on your muscles and stuff. I want to grow a booty, basically. That's where we're going with this. I want to grow a booty. I'm really, really petite. You could say I've got the body of like a 12-year-old boy, maybe 8-year-old boy actually. So I'm trying to get a bit more curvy, I'm trying to get a bit more shape, which is really hard for me, so I am trying to put on a little bit more weight. And it's only in the last couple of weeks I've really started tracking like my calories and my protein, because I felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere, and I go to the gym like 4 or 5 times a week, so to be putting in that much like time and effort into the gym, I really want to be maximising my outcome. So Sam's really good at that kind of thing. He's actually got a qualification in PTing. So he kind of sat down with me, we took my height, my weight, and kind of worked out how much protein I need to be eating a day and how many calories if I want to be putting on some, not putting on size, but you know, kind of just like growing the booty. I want to grow the booty and make the waist smaller. That's kind of the objective at the gym, which I think is the same with most women. So yeah, at the moment my routine at the gym is limited cardio. I try to walk every single day, so I'm trying to get in like at least 10k steps a day, which doesn't happen every day, but I try and get up, go out for a walk straight away. And then progressive overload with my weight, so I'll do like lunges, squats, hip thrusts, all the typical kind of things to grow a booty. Again, I'm not really qualified to give this kind of advice. I myself don't really know what I'm doing, so I don't want to be putting anyone else onto it. But yeah, the objective at the moment is trying to grow a bum, so we're increasing our protein, increasing our calories, lifting weights, less cardio, but I still like to kind of stretch, move. I feel like this answer is just going nowhere. Let's move on. So next up, where did you and Sam meet? So yeah, where did you and Sam meet? Every time I get asked this question, especially by the older generation, I'm always a bit like, we met on Tinder, basically. That is the long and short of it. Yeah, so I was actually in my last 2 weeks of my last year at uni, and I was living my best single life, basically. I'd only been single like a few months, I want to say, probably not even that. And me and Sam matched on Tinder, literally my last week and a half in Sheffield. He lived about an hour, just under an hour away, so he had that radius quite big. So did I, obviously. And yeah, we started chatting, and then a couple of days later we met up. It was actually really funny because I was trying to talk my way out of meeting up with Sam, because on his Instagram he had thousands of followers, and I just thought, he's an F-boy, like, we know where this is going. So I was like, and I was so hungover. So I was like, oh yeah, like I've got a uni lecture tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll be able to stay out anyway. First date lasted about 28 hours and the rest is history. And yeah, within a month of knowing each other, I'd moved in with Sam's parents. So we don't take things slow around here, basically. My camera seems to be overheating, so I'm going to just adjust us a minute. Okay, we're kind of adjusted. You're a little bit lower, which isn't ideal, but my camera was overheating in the holder, so I don't really know what's going on there. But last question I'm going to do, because I feel like I have completely rambled in this video, and I'm so sorry if this is like a complete spiel of like uninteresting blab. But we're just chilling today. The last question I'm going to answer is, where are you from? And I think people get confused with this because obviously I've posted videos of where we live and the area we live. I always get a bit funny about talking about locations on here because it just kind of feels a bit scary, I'm going to be totally honest with you. But we live in Hull, we live up north in Hull. And I think people get confused, obviously, because of my accent on voiceovers and stuff. Obviously, I've got a southern accent. So I'm originally from Cambridgeshire, so that's why I've got a southern accent. I moved to Sheffield to go to uni when I was 18. So I've lived up north now since I was 18. I'm 26 this year, so what's the maths on that? Is that like 7 years? That's probably wrong, but yeah, that's why I've got a southern accent and I live in Hull. I've had so many comments like, oh my god, you live in Hull, like, I was not expecting that, like, which I get because the accent around here is so strong, so people are obviously like, you got a southern accent and you live in Hull. But yeah, Sam is originally from around this area. He's not from Hull, he's from a little village like over that way. I'm saying over that way like you know where I'm pointing towards. But yeah, he's from a little village over the other side of Humber Bridge, and we just kind of moved to Hull because house prices are insanely different to back home. So back home, obviously we've bought a new build, and back home the exact same house type, so the exact same house was nearly £200,000 more than what we paid for ours up here. So for our first house, it was kind of a no-brainer. Long term, we don't really want to stay up here. I absolutely love it up north. I always have. But when it comes to the point where we want to like settle down, have kids, like looking at that kind of thing, I kind of want to be close to my family. And obviously, I've not lived near and around my family since I was 18. And Sam's obviously always lived with his family. When he moved into our house, that was the first time that he's ever moved house. Other than that, he was like in the house that he was born in, like with his mum and dad, they've never moved. Whereas me, obviously my parents were separated, so I was bouncing around like all of my dad's houses. Like we moved a few times, and then obviously I moved to uni, and then I moved 3 times obviously each year, and then I moved into Sam's mum and dad's house, and then I moved into our house. So I've been around the block, but Sam's never moved house apart from obviously our move together, and he loves it back where I'm from. So yeah, we don't know what the future holds just yet, but that's kind of explaining where I'm from, why I've got a southern accent, and why we live in Hull, because obviously Sam's from around here and we moved up here. House prices, also he already had a job, he had a really good job when we first met, and obviously I just graduated from uni, so I didn't have a job, and yeah, I didn't have a job, and it just kind of made sense because I was looking for a job, so I just looked for one around here basically. camera really is hating me today because it keeps overheating, and even though it's not a hot day today, it's literally cloudy, look. But it keeps saying it's overheating, so I'm going to wrap this up and head off. I am filming a TikTok vlog today. I'm going to go off now to go to TK Maxx. I'm going to have a look around the range, the home bargains and B&M, because I need to pick up a few bits. And also, I've heard through the grapevine that there is autumn stuff in the range, so might have a mooch there. So yeah, go over to my TikTok if you want to see that. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I know it's a bit rambly. I kind of don't like... It's going to sound so contradictory because I've just sat here and spieled about myself for about 40 minutes, but I don't like talking about myself too much, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you want to see more of these type of videos. I feel like as well, these sit down videos where it's just me and you talking, well, it's just me talking, I'm just talking to a camera on my own, feel quite unnatural, so I'm getting used to that. But anyway, my temperature thing has just come up, so I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for being here. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.